Okay. Hi, Cohort 9. This is Maggie Claudy, Cohort 7 graduate. Welcome to your Transitions to Teaching class. This is one of the favorite classes of mine at UTEP because it was the beginning of the end of UTEP, which was sad but also exhilarating because it was the beginning of, the career that you've all worked so hard to become. So, I'm going to address the question about what kind of feelings can you anticipate being there for the course of the year. It's likely that this will start to happen in the first 6 weeks. The thing that happened to me in the first 6 weeks was this feeling that just if I didn't stop to think about it, it would kind of overtake me and distract me from my work, and that was, I'm not good enough for my kids. They deserve better. How can I be better? And, sort of answering my own question that, oh, I can't be better right now. It's not working. I'm not enough. I don't know enough. And my kids are suffering as a result. I mean, I think it's just sort of a guilt thing because you're so new and you only have these kids for 1 year, and you can envision yourself in the future as a far better teacher, the kind of teacher that you think your kids in your first year, second year, third year deserve, and yet in the continuum of being a teacher, you're just not there. I think, speaking realistically, you're going to have these feelings, and they will persist. What I think you need to anticipate planning for is how to productively deal with these feelings so that they do not overtake you and they do not cloud, the reason that you're there in the first place, which is to teach these babies. It doesn't stop. This is, the biggest marathon that you're ever going to be part of, and it's wonderful. But I think for me, I just had to slow down my thinking and really focus on positive narration for myself, and that, right, I'm not yet to the place where I want to be with my instruction, with my relationships with parents, with my relationships with students, you name it. But I'm working on it. And I think as long as you commit yourself to working on it, to being a learner, constantly positioning yourself as a learner, you will be exactly where you need to be, however far along you are in your development as a teacher. Allow yourself that space, because if you don't, what's going to happen, I mean, I'll give you my own, what happened to me, and this is just from my perspective, but I thought, my goodness, I need to expedite my learning, my progression as a teacher, so I am going to go, full hog into this, and I'm going to push. And pushing for me meant that I was at school at 7 a.m. or even earlier, and I was leaving at 7 p.m. or later. And it took one day where my principal was leaving school around 6:45. She saw my car in the parking lot. She called my cell phone and said, "Miss Claudia, are you still there?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "You need to leave right now. You need to go home. This is too much." And I was a little surprised. I mean, I know she appreciated all my hard work, but she was seeing something else going on with my life and what I was doing as a teacher, that, to hear that from my principal really hit home that, I was running the risk of burnout. And so I think that that is a direction that you can be pushed towards if you're frustrated, overly frustrated with not being what you think you should be for your kids, and trying to counteract that and push too much. Don't do that. That may mean that some days you don't feel like your instruction was enough. And you know what? That's okay. Not every day is going to be a perfect, UTEP-y, IDU perfectly designed lesson because you had over what, a month, 2 months to design that 3-week takeover? Please, you're not going to have that kind of time in your second year of teaching. Believe me, I think about the specter of my IDU every day. I don't have that time yet. I'm working towards doing a beautifully backward designed unit. Has it happened yet? And I'm a second year teacher, by the way. No. These last 2 weeks of school, I am finally doing an integrated unit on mythology. Is it as in-depth as my unit on birds was at Murray Language Academy? No. Is that okay? Yes. And I think you just have to keep that in mind. It's okay that, you take your time being a good teacher. It's okay that some days your kids are not at their best. This is such a human experience, and I think sometimes so much pressure is put upon teachers now more than ever. But you have to remember that, you're a person too, and, it's deceptively easy to forget. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget the things that you need to remain who you are. And that's the things that happen outside of school. And don't remember, don't forget, that these things that you want for yourself and for your students, they will come. But give it time.